Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm AndyRC and today I'm taking a look at the Holybro Atlatl HV V2 VTX. So I reviewed the V1 some time ago and in general I liked it, but over time I have found that anytime it's been used in a model or a build, it's been a little bit susceptible to interference, so video noise from the electronics, and for me, that's the thing that I'm hoping that they have sorted out with this V2. However, I don't think it is the main reason for having a V2. This one now goes up to 800 milliwatts. The V1 was at 600 milliwatts. It also has a pit mode at 0.5 milliwatt, whereas the original, I think they said, was something like 15 milliwatt, which was still enough to shoot people out of the sky. So they've changed that. Interestingly, they've also removed the RF shielding, so it's light. Now, I'm usually a fan of RF shielding because what that does is it stops noise from regulators getting through. So, you know, we have noise that comes through to the power system, but also outside noise, you know, and the RF shield gets rid of that. And they have taken that away. So, I don't know, maybe they're trying to make it smaller. So, it weighs 8.8 grams with this MMCX SMA connector that we have here. I think the other one was like 10 grams, so it's going to be lighter for sure. Another thing that they've changed as well is the protocol. So the previous one used Tramp and this one is using TBS Smart Audio, which I tend to find is a little bit more reliable. So yeah, we have the VTX and the SMA connector. It's still using MMCX, the original one did, and then we have got this cable in here, and we've also got some screws for the adapter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this in a copter that's already using the Atlatl V1, so this is the Holybro Futon, and yeah, I do get a little bit of noise on the picture, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a straight swap here, so I'm going to put that in and see how it performs. So just as I'm taking this apart, I've noticed a couple of other differences as well. So this is the V1, and you can see on the V1 it has this little tiny key button here, and it's quite difficult to press. This time they've added a solid button. The only thing that I'm not too sure on is, can you see the MMCX connector on the V1? It sort of goes out in this direction and you can curl around the coax out of the way. With this one it goes straight out this way, and you have the 90-degree connector. That does mean that it does stick out a little bit on your copter compared to this one, and you're really going to want to have it installed in this direction because you want to still access the button. But yes, it does seem like the connector is the same order, so this is going to be a straight swap here. This one weighs 6.8 grams and this one weighs 5 grams, if you're wondering the difference between the two. So I did some power testing with the Atlatl V1, and this is the Fat Shark band and 25 milliwatt, and it's showing 13 milliwatt, so a little bit lower. And then this is the 200 milliwatt setting, so that's consistent. I had to switch to the larger power meter. After 200 milliwatt, they were showing vastly different figures. So this is the 600 milliwatt setting on the Atlatl V1, and it's only showing 340 milliwatts or thereabouts. And then when I plugged in the new immersion power meter at 600 milliwatts, it was only showing 230, so up to 200 milliwatts they show the same, and then they are vastly different. This is actually pit mode on the V1, and it's outputting 0.1 milliwatt and not 15 milliwatts, so they were fine on the V1. So the Atlatl V2 on the Fat Shark band for 25 milliwatt is actually 40 milliwatt. It usually shows a little bit higher on the Fat Shark band. And then this is the 800 milliwatt setting, and it's saying 500 milliwatt, so definitely not outputting 800 milliwatt. And then when I switch to the new power meter, 300 milliwatt, I don't think that one is as accurate. And 200 milliwatt, you can see there, is bang on. And this is pit mode, so 0.1 milliwatt, and that is fine there. So I think some inconsistencies between the power meters. And this is the Atlatl V1 with just the battery plugged in, and I was getting noise on the picture, so same copter, same everything. We've got crisscrosses on the screen with nothing else happening, so some noise there. And you can see this is the V2 and that noise has gone. So if we take it for a fly, all of a sudden we're getting electrical noise coming through. from the power system, and that was the case with the V1 on this copter, so that is still there. And it's funny, you know, I reviewed the Fox Ear Clear TX, and they accused me of putting it on a noisy copter, and I should have chosen a better system. And the reason I did that is it said it had some special filtering in there to help with noise, and it didn't. It was just worse. So, you know, I thought that was a fair test, and there are no excuses with this setup because this copter has the Holybro F4, so if you buy their stack, you know, it comes with it. And one problem I've always thought that the Atlatl had is that it runs from 7 volt upwards, and the F4 has a 5 volt regulator on there, so you can't power the VTX up off the regulator, so you have to go through VBAT, and that is how this is connected up. And of course you get noise through there. You know, it's not debilitating, it's not bad at all, and I imagine if you put a capacitor somewhere in there to filter it out, then, you know, it would improve. But yeah, for me, there's still work to be done with the Holybro system in general, because, you know, I'm really picky when it comes to video noise, and there are systems out there from AndyRC and, you know, other companies that don't have any noise whatsoever, you know. So I still think they've got some work to do, and also, you know, regardless to which power meter I use, it is not outputting 800 milliwatts, so I think they need to take a look at that as well. One thing I will say is with the Atlatl, you get superb audio coming through. The audio that you can hear now is from the microphone, and that is really impressive. I'm not an audio user myself, however, the audio that has come from the DVR is really impressive. So there you go, there is my take on the Holybro Atlatl V2. It's okay, it needs more improving if you ask me, and I'll link it in the below, and I'll leave you with some flying. This fly is particularly funny because you can see a dog has joined us there and starts chasing me, and I have to find a way to land because, you know, the dog will just grab the top of the copter and run around with it if not. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.